All right, we welcome you tonight. D. Leonard Hughes here. It's a pleasure to be coming to you. We're excited about tonight's show. There's Dolores McRae, that's my mother. Others that are tuned in on other platforms, we're so glad to have you, and happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. We're so excited about today's show. Then at the end, I may do a couple of political commentaries at the end of this show, and then go right into the political commentaries. We're so excited about life. We're excited about our country. We love our country, love America. And we greet all of our veterans from all areas of armed forces, Marines and Army and Navy, Air Force, all of them that have put their life and their families for to protect us and protect our country. And we send a shout out to all of the veterans. Okay, tonight's show talks about problem versus perception. I want you to really listen to me on this because this can help you dealing with everyday things. I practice this throughout the day, even when I find myself out of a line, off course. I bring myself right back into a line in my think. If you can just get in your head and then get out your head, life is much better because it's always your perception. That's what we're talking about when it comes to problems or situations. Don't be so quick to label something because you're not sure if it's true or not. It could be just your perception, even when it comes to a problem, because it's not going your way or people not doing it your way, then it becomes a problem. We're going to unpack all that tonight, and I'm so excited about that. All right. How to solve your own problems by changing your perception. I think this is one of the greatest, and I say hello to everybody that's on all of 6 platforms. I can't see all of you, but we welcome all of you. We welcome you. Okay. Any situation is not really the problem. Our perception about it makes it a problem. Let's say this here. Let me say it again. Any situation is not really a problem. Our perception about it makes it a problem. Let's say it again. Whatever the situations that's in your life, or you want to call it challenges or call it a problem. I don't like the word problem because it seems like you just defeated. I like the word challenge, but it's up to you. Our perception about the event, that's what really sends us with stress, sends us with frustration, sends us with discouragement. It's our perception of the event or different things that's happening in our life and the people. It's how we perceive it. It's how we perceive it that affects our physiological system in our body, your nerves and your mind and your subconscious. And it causes stress, it causes anxiety, all because of a perception in your mind of an event or of a situation that's happening around you. Watch how you label it. You can't just, and I think we have the tendency of just categorizing things from my past. It's like this put this here because it means this, it meant this all these years, so it means this. My interpretation of this problem is this because I've always interpreted and others have interpreted this way, so I picked up that. That's not the way to handle challenges in life. You have to be careful, and I know it's difficult because we come from such a negativity and people fight you on trying to change them because people don't want change. They'd rather stay in a negative, depressed. Sometimes you can deal with people and talk to people, and you can tell they're in a rabbit hole. You got to get off the phone with that because if not careful, because that's their perception of something. And before you know it, you've jumped on the bad bandwagon of a negative perception or an unrealistic perception or their own reality, and you're all involved, and it's not even real. And you can find out 2 weeks later that the information wasn't true, or what was done, what was said, and you can, and I know certain things you cannot, challenges and change is inevitable. You have to deal with that, but you have to be careful. You can't control what's around you. You can't control who's around you. But what you can control is how you label events that come into your life. Isn't that something? It's how you label it. You can label it as a blessing. You can label it as encouragement. You can label it as positive, or you can label it, oh, my whole day is gone. And I often tell people, one wrong thing in your day should not dictate your whole day. Because you burnt the bread, you drop, sometimes we're so sensitive to things and we're so negative and sabotaging ourselves. You drop something, you beat yourself for dropping it. You just not use the law of gravity. Oh, you have to be careful how you pick up stuff. You see what I'm saying? We major in small things when we shouldn't major in small things. Don't sweat. There's a book I read years ago, many years ago. I think it's still out. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's still there. It should be if it's not. Entitled "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." That's what it's called. Don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, so when a situation is not your way, do you label it as a problem? Because, as I said before, because it's not going your way, it's a problem. Who says your way is the best way? Who says your way is the wisest way? Who says your way is the best route to take? Come on, somebody. So you have to understand how you label stuff in your frustration. What are you frustrated about? Something you've labeled, and probably you've labeled it wrong, your perception of something. Okay? So what are you saying? What are you saying, D.L. Hughes? You're saying don't face. No, you face it, but how you label it. Because how you label it is going to affect you. How you label it will affect your day. It would affect you physically, mentally. Just because somebody pulled in front of you 10 o'clock this morning, that should not mess your whole day up, because you realize in maturity things happen. That's just life. And I think the more we realize life is better, life is a reality that we make it individually, I think it's much better. And I know the battle is in the mind. Let's be real. Not my mind, not just my mind or your mind. Everybody has a battle in their mind and their perception. Let's look at this. I don't want to get into the political part of it yet, but I guess we can bring it in. What we're dealing with in our House of Representatives, and I think there's a scripture in the Christian Bible that says, a house divided cannot stand. So the House of Representatives divided cannot stand. But the other side, let's say this, the other side have their perception, the other side have their perception, okay? It's a very hypocritical perception that the right wing or the mega group, because they're trying, I don't want to get into this right now, but I'm still talking about perception, that our whole world is based on perception. People are making decisions on their perception. Our country, our Congress is on what? Perception. Since I'm here, I might as well deal with it. And you don't find a lot of religious institutions. Once again, this is not a church platform, not a religious platform. It's a personal development platform. A lot of folks won't deal with the abortion issue. Am I pro-life? Yes, I am 100%. But I don't believe that you should impose that on other people. Okay, because you don't know their situation. And am I for abortion? No, I'm not. 100% not. But I'm not going to impose my belief, my conviction, my values on somebody else, or on a woman that feels she have to get it, whatever. I don't know. But I'm saying they showed them on Tuesday. Ohio showed them on Tuesday. Kentucky showed them. Virginia showed them. I think Pennsylvania. That we will not, and everything that's happening is to undermine the American people. Let me say this. Everything that we're seeing going on in the mega crowd, I'm going to deal with it. It's to undermine the American people. But I often say, as an individual, you fact check. What I say, what anybody else say, you fact check. You make sure before you jump on the bandwagon and develop a perception. I don't develop a perception because the crowd does. I analyze it for myself. I'm into all the news, just about all the news that's out. I pretty well know about it. I forgot that's in social media or the conventional news. I'm on all of that. And I'm able to, through the wisdom and the principles of spirituality, I'm able to understand what's going on. Okay, what's going on? It's a hypocrisy. Okay, here we are. They want to subpoena. I think it's Joe Biden and his brother. Uh, uh, what's his name? Hunter Biden and the brother, because over 200. Who cares about somebody giving $200? They're trying to find something. They had Wiseman in yesterday when it came to the Hunter Biden case. He said, I make my own decision. They still came out and said, we think he's being enforced. They won't stop. Why? Because it's their perception. And this is what I'm trying to get you to see. We're dealing with a country, we're dealing with a people with a warped perception that they want to persuade everybody else to go this route. If it was up to them, they would completely abolish abortion. Am I for abortion? No, I'm not. But I believe it should be an individual decision. It shouldn't be a decision that I make you not do this, I make you not do that. It should be an individual decision, not even up to the states. When Roe versus Wade was turned over and ex-President Trump was a part of that. Okay, I understand that. We gave it to the states. Okay, we don't want to deal with the federal government. We're going to give it to the state. All right, it should be given to the people. I think in Florida, Santos has a 6-week ban. Come on. Most people, a woman don't even know she's pregnant at 6 weeks. It's a game of their perception to sway away from the real issues. I'm so glad. Even the Kentucky, I'm still talking about perception, but I'm talking about in the political, because I want to go different layers from the political on down, that people perception. Okay, it's a perception. Even what happened in Kentucky, Cameron, that got him out of there. He was the one that the Brianna, what's the girl name in Kentucky when he didn't even try to convict the police officers. So he was trying to be governor. I can't think of the girl named Roland Martin talks that interview. Go to Roland Martin, good person to get that information from. And this sister worked hard in Kentucky to come against Cameron, and he lost. And he's no longer also attorney general. He's out of that because he got on the Trump bandwagon. You've got to be an individual. Look at where our country is going. It's the perceptions. And you've got Robert Kennedy Jr. He's running. He's giving them a little run for their money. Not much, but little. You got Cornel West. I don't think he's doing too much. I haven't checked on him too much. I don't think he's doing a whole lot. He's not kicking much dust. He's trying to, but I don't think he's kicking much dust. DeSantis, terrible. And you know what I think? I'm going to be real with y'all. All of these people that's trying to abuse women and their rights, how many of them have ever had someone to get an abortion? I think that's the question I would ask, starting with Trump on down to Michael Johnson, right on the House Speaker. How many of them have had somebody get an abortion? That's the real question to ask them personally, since they're trying to take away the rights of women. I don't believe the rights of women should be taken away. I believe that a woman should make her own choice, her own, and when it comes to her body or whether having an abortion. Am I for abortions? No, I'm not. I'm 100 for pro-life. But that's it, Dr. Sutton. There's a man from Kentucky. He is from Kentucky. He always responds to me on my show, on my wake up. He's Kentucky. I'm sure you know. Cameron, they got him out of there. And I'm glad they got him out of there. I'm glad. I am so when the results came in, I just said, great, he's out. Something has to be done because of the perception of the different parties of the right. I'm not talking about the moderates. I'm not talking about the Republican Party of folks that have sense. I'm talking about the MAGA. I'm talking about the Boebert. I'm talking about the Marjorie Greene. Somebody, they arrested him. Somebody threatened her, but they did arrest him, which is good because you don't threaten people. I'm talking about the Mike Johnson. You know, he's doing a lot in the name of being a Christian or Christianity. But Christianity should not be imposed. No religion, Muslim or Christianity, even what's going on in the East with Hamas, religion and land, it should not. You do your own thing. If you want to be a Muslim, be a Muslim. You want to be a Christian, be a Christian. You want to be a Buddha, be a Buddha. Okay? whatever you want to be, but just become spiritual, become awakened on the inside. And let me say this, become awakened to the Christ, the God that's in you. Religion back in. Okay, there we are. There we are. Thank you. All right. All right. So understanding that something has to be done because we're dealing with, and we understand it's under the perception that Donald Trump will get back in. 98%, I don't believe he will get back in. I do not believe it. At 90%, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think the American people is going to make that known because he's already said if he gets back in, he's going to use the Department of Justice and the FBI. He's going to go against all of his enemies, everybody that went against him. He's gonna weaponize them to go against it. That's what we need as a president. Come on, somebody. And then he talks about Biden and his mental incapacity, but he's incapacitated. He didn't know the other day. He didn't even know where he was. They had the governor, senator, somebody had to go whisper in and tell him you're not in Des Moines or wherever it was. I forgot what the city, but he said you're not there. You in Iowa. I think that's where it was. You're not. Oh, okay. But then he want to talk about Biden. Come on. Then he and listen to his language. His talk. I'm not talking against him. I'm talking against the perception that his crew, that his whatever they are, the MAGA, Make America Great, whatever they are, that crew is they are extremists. Let me say that, and that's her perception. So that goes right in line to what I'm talking about. That's their perceptions. When you see these things, you understand that's their perception, and their reality, because once you get a perception so long, it becomes your reality. And that's what they're trying to put on the American people, that once he's back in, he will be a dictator. Why would they want that? Because that would empower them forever. Now, and then it's really crazy. He talking about Tucker Carlson being vice president. Come on, y'all. Come on, Tucker Carlson, vice president. Michael Johnson, Speaker of the House, sometimes to the president, vice president, he takes over. If something happened to Trump, Tucker Carlson takes over. We know that's a racist and extremist. It's their perception. And thank God, again, Ohio, I congratulate you. I admonish you. You stood up. Kentucky, your state, Dr. Sun, stood up. Virginia, stood up. Pennsylvania has their first African-American female, maybe first, I think, African-American female mayor in the city of Philadelphia. It's not about a black thing or a white thing. It's the people that's been oppressed. And first shall be last, and last shall be what? First be first. You know, you watch them when they first get in to see which way they're going. But, you know, we're going to see, then you've got the girl in Maryland. They convicted her of perjury. The one, I can't think of her name. I didn't plan on doing this, all of this. I can't think of her name, but they got on perjury. One did the Gray case. They got her on perjury, found guilty on perjury. When you end, then there's another, I think the mayor of New Orleans. They've got an indictment against her. Come on. Because she was using the state car for personal use. You can't do that, y'all. First of all, they don't want you in those positions anyway because of your color. Let's be real. And because of your gender. So once you're there, do what's right. Park that car, get your own car. I don't care what and I think a lot of them, because they've seen other political leaders do it, so they figure they can do it. You can't take that chance. You can't take that chance. There's more of an attack against you than it is those who've been in the system or, for a long time. Okay. So these are the things that we're facing. When you get in a position, do what's right. Do it with integrity. What's his name? And I don't. There's no charges against him. Mayor Adams, is Eric Adams in New York. There's a situation. They took his phone, his two phones, his iPad, and if I understand it, they give it back to him. He has it back. Investigating Turkey people that gave into his campaign, gave into his campaign. And one thing about it that I've watched him and I follow him because I'm into the political arena, and I think that he's a pretty fair guy, square guy, and straight guy, and doing what's right. And one thing he emphasized in his staff is that we got to follow the law. And I think he gets one staff member say he get annoyed with him because he's always saying we have to follow the law. So Eric Adams, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. I don't. They gave everything back, so if they gave it back, that means they found nothing on the phone. I'm still talking about perceptions, because everything in life is perception. People do things because of their perception or the reality of what they're doing. So that's why we have to be careful that their perception of, especially, that right wing extremist group, they're terrible. And they don't stop. Nothing makes them happy. Marjorie agreed. Nothing stops her. She constantly goes. Bober's at each other. She called Bober all kind of crazy. And this where politics have come. It used to be a time, hey, I'll call others that are coming on. If I don't say nothing because I can't see you, I'm on 6 platform. So I'll mention about the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. I think he'll be okay. I think he's going to be okay. They gave his phone. He seemed to be a pretty straight guy. I watched him, even his speech. What I like about it, when they raided his campaign manager's house, he had already landed. I think he was in front of the White House or pulling up to the White House. And he got the message that they had raided his campaign manager house. He immediately got back on the plane and flew to New York to address the issue. I like that, because it wasn't so much the politics of being in the White House. He took care of his campaign and took care of the city. So what we're dealing with is the perception of people. People around you have their own perception, and their perception becomes their reality. Your perception, if you're not careful, becomes your reality, and you're living a reality of your own reality, of your own perception. Doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's empowering. It means that this is your perception. And all across the world, Hamas, that's their perception. But the what's his name? I can't pronounce his name. The president of Israel. He said, "We're going to take, even after this is over, we're going to take over Hamas." He should, because they're right in their backyard. Because you win the war, you walk away, they come back, and do the same thing again. So take the whole country. Israel is God's very special people. We're all God's chosen people. That's why I stopped. But they're very precious to the Lord. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. There's a favor that goes with supporting Israel. I'm in support of Ukraine because when you look at the situation of Putin, if he take over Ukraine, he's going to keep going. Those guys, they don't stop. He's not going to stop Ukraine. He's going to keep on telling you he wants Israel. That's what they really want, Israel. So he's not going to stop. back. Okay, stay with me. If I cut off, y'all, just stay right there because the platform I'm using having some difficult for me that Android phones would have proper devices, but not iPhone devices. So we're good. If we go out, just stay with me. All right, let's get back into this. Dealing with perception. When you see what's going on in our country, once again, House of Representatives, there's a scripture in the Christian Bible said, "A house divided can't stand." Can't stand. Okay. I started off saying any situation is not really a problem, our perception about it. Whatever's happening in your life, look at me. Look at me. It's your perception of it. Doesn't mean that's the way it is. And even if it is, don't label it as it is. Give it a positive, faith, joyful, motivating label, because however you label, that's what it's going to be. That's what it is in your world. I'm not talking about somebody else's world. In your world, whatever you label challenges, it becomes your reality, and it would drive you. It would get you stuck. It would put you. Some folks are depressed over a wrong perception, or because you wanted things to be a certain way because it's not that way. I have to be very careful because I'm into news and do my political commentaries on my show. But all of that, and I'm at this off and on all day because I've got different platforms that come to me and give me information. But I have to make sure that I keep my own perception, because every time you hear something, look at me. Every time you hear something, you make a decision whether to believe it or not believe it. You're listening to me, and your belief system is saying whether you believe him or not believe him. But I tell you what, something, if you believe me and do exactly what I say, you will see tremendous results in your life. But if we see something on television, we hear something, automatically our belief system goes in, and we have to determine whether we believe that or not. Something with television, I don't care. Your belief system, you're where you are now because of your belief system. Okay? If you get up and go to the kitchen, if first was a choice and you believe you can do it, your whole being is about your belief system. What is belief? Belief is thinking a thought over and over and over and over until it becomes a part of your belief system. And you have according to what you believe. You're where you are because of your belief system. I may have to do part 2 on this. I like this, how to solve your own problems by changing your perception. Let's always be focused on what is in our control. A lot of things that you all tore up about, it's not in your control, so that you wake up. You can't control things and people. We can't even control what's going on in the White House. I mean, in Washington. We can speak against it. We can get out and vote. The girl in Kentucky, maybe you, I don't know how you're into it, Dr. Hunt. You can give me her name, the one that came and helped and protest in a peaceful way and shut Cameron down. I can't think of her name, but I did contribute to her, what she's doing, because I believe in what she's doing. When you believe in what people are doing, contribute. I was listening to Tyler Perry, and he was so appreciative to the African American community when it came to his movie, because Hollywood didn't give him nothing. Sometimes your dream, you stand alone. But you keep dreaming. I felt that. A lot of y'all are dreamers. But you get in the crowd. You get among the general public. And you let your dream fade. Because your dream is going to cause you to stand alone in the beginning. It will cause you to stand alone. And most folks don't like that place of being alone, a solitude. Because you are the vision, you are the desire, you are the cooperation. It's coming out of you. So there's development that must be done within you. And I believe when you start your own company and corporation, man, that's it. It can be, you stand alone, because most folks don't believe in what you're doing. Because most likely you're doing what nobody else has ever done before. Dare to be different. That's why I do it in my companies as a spiritual advisor, as a spiritual minister. I dare to be different. It's so easy to get caught up in the crowd. Hang out with very easily. Before you know it, you in the crowd. I don't follow the crowd. Crowd follows me. I'm a pioneer. You have to understand who you are and your real purpose in life. Your purpose in life, not just to run around and church and be religious and be churchy and be, that's not your purpose. There's a greater purpose in that. You going and being fed spiritually on a certain level supposed to motivate you to be doing that. What is a problem? A problem is a matter of a situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful or needed to be dealt with and overcome. Problem could be something that's unwelcome. Okay? It's my perception of reality wrong. Our perception of reality can be wrong because as humans, we're not able to process all the information that's around us. So we're left with only a small fraction of it. I like this. This is something I love this. We're human. I'm going to show you why your perception, why our perception many times are wrong. We have to keep ourselves in check. Keep ourselves in check. Because as human, as information comes, okay, we're left with just a small fraction of information, and it becomes a part of our belief system, and it also becomes a part of our perception. So it doesn't mean you're exact. Don't be so. I'm never gun ho on what I think about situations. I'm gun ho on what I think about the word and the spiritual laws, kingdom laws, cosmic laws. I'm 100% with that. But when it comes to daily things and dealing with people, I'm a little extra careful, and I guard myself. You have to guard your mind. Guard your ear gate, eye gate. Certain things I don't want to deal with. If it's negative and not my bit, I don't want to deal with it. For what? There's no purpose in it. What's the purpose in it? And then if I feel that there's a need to deal with it briefly, I deal with it briefly and I move on because it's not my business. See, many of you all are all caught up in other folks' business. That's why you're so depressed, because you're carrying other folks' stuff. You look at me. You cannot carry other people's stuff. You cannot bear other people's burden. They have to bear and learn how to bear their own burden. You bearing their burdens are not helping them because they never learn how to stand and go within and develop themselves. Look at me, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about your personal development. When I started this company, it's all about what? Personal development. How are you developing yourself? What tools do you have? Yes, the Bible is our basic foundation, but there's other tools that you need because we understand the mind and the subconscious and thinking. We understand it much better. Now, Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man or a mind, because man is nothing but mind, a non-physical vibration, energy that's in a physical body. Okay? But as a man thinketh in his heart, his subconscious, you are what you think. You're where you are. Look at me, ladies and gentlemen. You're where you are now because of your thought pattern, your thought process, and your belief system. That's where you are. There's nothing can stop you. There's nothing can get you unstuck but you. You said, Dr. Hughes, I feel like I'm stuck. You got to unstuck yourself. I'm giving you tools. Take this stuff, get your paper and pencil, go back over it, read it, just shoving it. I'm shoving this stuff in my mind and processing, and it feels good. When you've got an emotion that's going that doesn't feel good, you got to change the channel. Don't follow it. Because we're emotional beings. So many times we're picking up on things and you're trying to figure out where that come from. Where did emotion come from? I wasn't thinking about that. Where did that come from? Something is a trigger. Something within your subconscious triggered a thought, and it triggered a thought. It triggered emotion, a sensation. Now you're sitting in the corner depressed and don't even know what you're depressed about. If you've lived here 70, 80, 90 years, you don't have nothing to be depressed by. You should be grateful and excited and say, you know what? What is my purpose? There's a reason why I'm here. I was in a store a few weeks ago and standing in line, and the lady's behind me. She was 90 years old. I didn't know she was 90 then. And I forgot something and I needed to go back, but I was locked in Add to the screen. There, yeah. Okay. Stick with me, y'all. Okay. So there are three solutions to every problem. You ready? Accept it, change it, or just leave it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to leave it. Leave it alone. Okay. Again, there are three solutions to every problem. One, accept it. Especially, what's going on in our country. I don't like it, but I got to deal with it. If you can change it, change it. But you got to make sure that when you label something a problem, is it really a problem? Or is it your perception? Or it's not going your way? Or you become impatient? So you're saying it's a problem. Let me tell you something. In this walk, in this journey, it takes much patience. It takes much patience. You're going to be tried, your faith, your idea, your business, everything has to be tried. When you first start off, and many of you got this straight, you started a business, you got a business idea. What's wrong with you? You want to work like a dog the rest of your life? Come on. You got an idea. You got a business idea. You got an intention. What are you going to do something about? Well, I don't have the money. Stop the legwork and the money come. Get invested. I've got an app that I'm working on, and I'm working well, and I've got some people already in view. I'm going to be. I've got what's his name, Rick Ross. I've been kind of inboxing different ones. I'm trying to get my name out there with them to finance what I want to do. Other people's money. That's the key. When you find billionaires, they don't use their money most of the time. Some of them do. What's his name? Tyler Perry had to use his money. It was the money that the African American people supported him and was able to come up. Now he's all on BET. But he says when he first got his, I forgot how much it was. He 2 or 3 times he gave money away. He felt guilty. He had $1.5 million that he was making, that he made, and he gave it away, feeling guilty. Feeling guilty. People can get up and do something for themselves. They can get up off their behind and do something for themselves, or at least try to do something. Don't feel guilty about people that's doing nothing. Come on, what's wrong with you? I like people that get up and go talk about positive stuff. I know what the rabbit hole is like, and I don't like being in the rabbit hole. I don't like nobody else taking me in the rabbit hole. Not that I don't love, not that I don't care, but I don't care about rabbit holes. I definitely don't care about rabbit holes. All right, 3 things: solution to the problem. Accept it, change it. And if you can't change it, just let it go. Just leave it. First thing, just say, you know what? It's a small situation. I'm letting it go. Why do you get all uptight over something small? You let it attach itself to you. Something attached itself to you today that irritates you. And even while I'm talking, it's still gnawing on you. It's still gnawing on you. Let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You won't forget it, but you detach yourself. That's the word I want to use. You have to detach yourself from those perceptions of a problem. Detach yourself. You have to say it. I detach myself from that. Those thoughts that you're having, they're not your thoughts. They're not your thoughts. Thoughts are like clouds. You can't stop thoughts from coming, but you can control how they affect your life. Let me say this. You can't stop thoughts. I don't care. There's nobody in the world can stop a thought. You can put out a red flag. You can put out a stop sign over your head because we're vibrational, thought vibrational being. We're always thinking. And it's always good for thoughts that feel good. That's it. Thank you. I call accept it, change it, or just leave it or detach yourself from it. You got to get in your head, then get out your head. Notice I said get in your head, but don't stay there too long because you get stuck. Get in it, deal with whatever's going on, get out of it, and go on and live. Practice being present. It's something that I'm doing, and it feels good, y'all. I want you to learn it. Practice it now. Just practice being present, looking at internet problems. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you so much, you all. I think I'm back on. Okay, damn. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for staying there. All right. This is good. Let me see where life is a series of ups and downs. Realize it. There's not a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs along the way. We encounter various challenges and obstacles. We don't like them, but you have to detach yourself from them, because if not, you'll carry it into your life 5 or 10 years down the road. You'll still carry it. Each problem is unique, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. It is crucial to assess the situation. Consider the potential outcomes of each option and reflect on your values and long-term goals. Change happens to us and around us every day. New laws, new government, new policies, and new ways to do things due to changes in life. So you have to make sure you always check your perception, because there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of things going on. So you have to understand your problem could be just your perception. It may not be really what it is. So that's why I don't take things too serious. I don't go from 1 to 10 on something, because I've found that that doesn't. Most of the time, we're going to 1 to 10 on wrong perception or wrong information or our own perception or emotions of where we are. And we go on all there. We go there. Okay. It takes a lot of work at this, a lot of mental work. That's why I don't focus on nobody else's business, because it takes so much to, just to mind my own business and to get in my head and get my thoughts in my mental world. I don't want to be 20 years stuck. I don't want to be that. He's doing a new thing. Regardless of what's going on in the earth, let me tell you something. Let me say this to you. Regardless of whatever's going on, he's not an absentee landlord. But there's things that we have to do in the earth to bring a presence or a superpower on the earth to turn and understand where we are. Life is wonderful if you look at it. There's challenges, yes. What can you do? You have to trust the God within. You can't trust politics. You can't trust Washington. You can't trust the House of Representatives, because they're divided and it says it's going to fall. House divided will fall. That's a principle. That's a law. They don't look at that. The only thing they want is extremism. That's all they want, because that's where their perception is. They develop a reality they want to put on the American people. Even the judge in New York, one of the representatives filed a thing with the Bar Association that he should be removed because he didn't allow Trump to have a fair trial. Well, that was their fault. Alina Baba, whatever her name, she checked the list to have a judge. A judge by whatever it is, case by the judge, not the jury. That's a decision they made. She made that decision. All of his lawyers, you look at, very incompetent lawyers. She sits like his daughter, Alina Baba. She sits on the side of him like she's his daughter, not really sure of herself. Her eyes are shifting. She's not sure of herself. You have to watch body language with people, even by his body language. I can tell you things about his body language. When he puts his hands out, he really wants you to get a point. Okay. He really wants you to go. You see Trump put his hands out like that and stick his chest out. He really wants you to get a point. When he doesn't do that, there's other body language that he's not sure that's going to study people, y'all. I'm looking at, because I'm understanding body language. People say one thing, but their body language say something else. How you doing? Y'all okay? Right, got a few more minutes. I'm talking about problem versus what? Perception. Things you have said, you're ashamed of, wish you hadn't voiced it. When words have been spoken, you can't take them back, but you can ask for forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You cannot change the past, except forgive and make the change to improve your future. You got to listen to me. You want to be successful. You want to get somewhere in life and get rid of that religious concept they gave y'all of it's rough and, it's hard and the devil's going to get you and the devil's on your track. That is so disempowering. It's religion. You have authority. You can be what you want to be. The best thing you can do, I think Reverend Ike used to say, the best thing you can do for poor people is let them know you don't have to be poor no more. That's the best message. If you want to change, you cannot wait and hope that it will happen. Only you have the power to change your situation, change your view, and change your life. It's your view of things. It's your view of your life that's affecting you. If you view your life as a failure or this and that, that's going to affect your whole character, your whole energy, your whole vibe. Because that's what you're giving. Whatever you get into your mind is what you give off of your vibration. If you're excited, you can tell some people have strong vibration. They walk in a room and you look, who they? May not even know them. Okay, I program myself to be that. When I walk in, they want to know, who is he? Because I'm walking in positive. All right? Keep going. Oh, just about finished. Y'all, they usually don't get it, isn't it? Let me see. It's important to accept things. Okay, I already said this. Yeah, all right. A few more minutes. When you face a problem, don't keep on dwelling on it. Cheer up. Sooner or later, the problem will disappear because it's irrelevancy or be resolved. And even if the problem is difficult to solve, dwelling on it won't help. When you worry about something, it doesn't help. Your mind thinks it does because your mind wants to be in control. So your mind wants to give a narrative to everything, and certain things not even important. But because the mind wants to give a narrative to something, it's going to already label something. So you have to take your power back and say, no, mind, we're going to label in this area here. Most problems are man-made, therefore can be solved by men and women of goodwill. Side note, trying not to think of something actually makes it more likely you would think. If I tell you don't think of a pink elephant, what he just did, he just thought of a pink elephant. That's where the mind works. So there's a reprogramming. You got to get the tools. Read. Get the tools. Feed your mind. I'm able to maneuver through life with information because I'm seeking wisdom and I read. I'm always reading. People are like, what you doing? Reading? I'm feeding. What else is to do? Because if not, you sit up depressed and your mind going here. So when I find, I get up, pick up one of my books and I start reading, or I go back over my daily mental wake-ups. You think I just put the wake-ups out? I put out what have helped me. I go back over the wake-ups myself. I look at them. I apply them because it's good information. Now, those that get the daily mental wake-up, if you don't get one, inbox me. Had some people last week inbox me saying, I don't get them on. If you don't get them, let me. But I'm doing so many. I'm doing over 14,000. So I'm going to have to just upload it to the app. Most of you still haven't. I'll probably be next month before I do that. I'll let you know. You just would hit the link and you could just go. Matter of fact, when you go in, you just don't see the wake up for today, but you see all of the wake ups that I've done. I'm going to have to shift to that because we're not doing wake ups on most Saturdays and Sundays. I say that because I may get this inspiration and put a wake up out tomorrow or put one out Sunday. Sometimes I can't wait. Sometimes I say I'm going to do that tomorrow, and I'm 2 or 3 days, and I do it now. So most wake ups I won't do on Saturday and Sunday unless I really feel inspired. Then I'll do it. Okay, because I don't hold information. I love doing what I do, and I love feeding your mind. The information I'm giving you is to help you. And if you do exactly what I say, you're going to see tremendous results. Dream your dream. Believe in you. Come on, somebody. Nobody's going to believe in you like you. Can I say it again? Nobody's going to believe in you like you. Nobody's going to support you like you. Got a few more minutes. All right. So in my closing, I started off talking about where we are in the perception of our parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. I am a independent. Let me see, are you independent? Are you supporting RFK Jr.? I don't know yet. I don't vote personalities, vote policies. And when I give you information, it's not about a party. It's about information, and you determine what you want to do with it. But I only put out the facts of what's already out. we've got to really, and if you're not a voter, you got to get out there and vote. And those of you encouraged folk, voting matters. We saw that in Ohio. They let that, and again, I'm kind of backtracking what I started. Am I for abortions? No, I'm 100% pro-life. But I don't believe that I impose what I believe on somebody else, on a woman. That's her body. I may say it's not a good idea to get an abortion, but I'm not going to lock her up and this and that, because you can't do that. To the point now, they can lock you up if you leave one state. If you leave Florida, I don't know, I think it's in you come back, they lock you up. That's your body. So what you'll find is a lot of babies being abused, okay, left at garbage cans and fire stations. Come on. And I believe, and I'm saying this to understand that women, you should be able to make your own decisions with your own bodies, whether I agree or whether I disagree. That's your life. And that's what Ohioans, they showed that on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. They showed that on Tuesday or Wednesday. They showed that we will not be dictated by the extremists. And they still don't stop. They don't stop. The people have forced. So if the people, so politicians are treating the people like y'all are stupid, y'all are dumb, y'all don't know anything. But it's our money that have you in Washington. And it's our voice must be heard. Dr. Sutton, I was trying to think of the girl's name in Kentucky. I like her. She stood a whole year. She made sure, young girl, committed to a cause, put together a whole, they got on the ground, and the governor was smart. Was that Governor of Virginia or Kentucky? One of them, he was smart. When they found out that, the governor, yeah, I think it's the governor. I can't remember. I got so much going on in my head, so much information. When they found out, they went in the community and found out that a lot of African-American males could not vote. So what the governor did was, I think it was 200 and some, I forgot what they called it. He wiped out their felons. All of them still didn't vote. Only 40, I think it was 40% of them voted. Here's a man wipe out your conviction, and you don't even go and vote. Give your rights back to you. And this is what happened. I think it was Kentucky, Virginia. But the governor was smart. He got those votes. He got them. He completely did away with those evictions. And many went, not all of them, I think it was only 40 or maybe 60%. I'm even off on that. They went out and voted. And that's what helped. And it's showing something in our country that the American people will not lay down and make us feel stupid while y'all do everything. They don't care about you. It's all about their political ambitions. Most of the Republicans in Florida, where I'm from, where my mother lives, they jumped off of the bandwagon of DeSantis and with Trump. And everything he's done. You think we want America to be like Florida? Come on, punishing people, punish Disney because of their freedom of speech? And you think DeSantis that this is what? With your little short self? He did something on an interview, he did something with his tongue, and people trying to figure out, what did he do with his tongue like a snake? He's a snake. He's evil. I'm saying it. Hopefully my platform is just beginning, but I'm saying he did something with his tongue. I said, what is he doing? That's a snake spirit. Then he got the governor of Iowa. She endorsed him. I don't know what that's all about. He would not win. He would not win. We got to face it. I don't believe he's going to be president, but he will be the Republican primary leader. Donald Trump will be that. Presidency, I don't believe that. I pray to God. Okay. Christie, I like Christie. He's not going to make it, but he speaks up. He speaks up. He's the only one, even on the debate, Arcola, he was the only one. The rest of them are afraid of the Trump party. They're afraid of the people. That if we get off the bandwagon, we'll lose our election. What about the people over politics? Come on, y'all. People, I'm planning. I'm going there. I'm going to run somewhere, somehow. I'm going to run. There's going to be people over politics. going to be people over politics. Get out and vote, y'all. Wherever you live, whatever state, see what's going on. Go to those city council meetings, go see what's going on. Get in there, get involved. You don't know where you want to leave a legend. And many of you are trying to leave a legend in church. Don't leave a legend in church. Leave a legend in the world. All right, y'all. Let me see anything else I want to cover. I got so much news information. I talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene, terrible person. Just stupid. I'm going to say the things she say. Bob Bober, just craziness. But the people in her state, I can't think of a state, they've already switched over to pushing her. She won't win. She won't get back in. For what they're saying, well, what happened at the Beetlejuice show, she's groping her boyfriend and vaping. You are a representative of a district, and they had to put you out of the show, the movie theater, whoever it was. They had to put you out, and here you are, a representative in Washington, a state representative. Santos, they didn't expel him. And I understand one point, because you're innocent and proven guilty. And then when I begin to look at it and think about it, he's terrible. He won't win this election. But they didn't vote to expel him because they say you're innocent and proven, which you are. That's the law. We hate he's there. They didn't expel him. He won't win, so we just got to, ride it out until he's out there. But it goes to show the hypocrisy of, I won't say the Republican Party, I would say the MAGA extremists. Let me put it that way, because their views are not the whole Republican Party. Manchin, think Senator Manchin, he is not, he's retiring. And that's a concern, because that's a Democratic seat that could be flipped. We'll see. I wish he would wait. I want to, I'm not in his district or whatever, but I'm going to do an email to him. Just why don't you wait? Please wait. Please wait. Somebody else is not running. So, be on top of this. See what's going on in your country. People are like, I don't get involved with politics. Are you living in America? But you're complaining about this and complaining about laws, but you don't get involved with it? That's on you. Okay, y'all. It's been wonderful. It's been good. Let me see. Hold on. Don't go. Any comments? Any questions? Akola, she said, and you're right. It's things that make you say, wow. Because where you have the news, internet, all the stuff they're putting out will make you say, wow. It makes you want to leave the country. Move to Australia. I think about it. I think I want to. I'll tell my wife, maybe we should leave the country and go somewhere else. Move to another country somewhere. But I love America. I say that. I say that teasingly, in a way, because I love our country. We have a wonderful country. We just got misperception of people, and it's and one of the greatest things with perception. That's what the problem is. It's their perception. The MAGA, not the Republicans. Not all of them. There's some of them that, they're in swing states, so they're very careful. But if those extreme, watch them. The stuff they do, even stuff they bring on the floor, is nonsense. Barbara brought something on the floor yesterday, and I can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name, but he shot it down. The stuff and they've never even Jim Jordan, he never got a law to pass. He never put nothing on the floor that had passed. They don't care. It's the extremists. It is the MAGA, Make America Great Again. It's Donald Trump's crew. And everybody, he endorsed Cameron in Kentucky. He still lost. He don't have the influence he think he has. He has the MAGA, the extremists, of those 8 that got rid of McCarthy. And he tried to say it was the Democratic Party. Democrats not going to vote to keep you in. It's not their place. And vice versa. It's not Republican place to keep a Democrat in. Everybody's responsible for their own party. Okay? So you watch this stuff and remember, it's their perception. It's their perception. Okay? So understand the perception, understand where people are, understanding where we are politically, Again, I dealt with the abortion issue because it is an issue. I am a pro-lifer. I'm 100% against abortion. But again, I believe a woman should make her own decision. To make her own decision should not be imposed upon a political party. I strongly believe that it should not be to the Roe versus Wade. It should not be to the federal level. It should not be to the state level, but it should be an individual. Even though I have my views on abortions, I'm against abortion, but I'm not going to take my views and put them on you. That's not what you do. You don't put your religion on somebody else. You don't put your belief, your social, political views, and they're trying, it's okay to have a view, but they're trying to make us. But again, I know I keep talking about it, but again, Ohioans, thumbs up to you. Kentucky, thumbs up. Virginia, thumbs up. Philadelphia, thumbs up. They've got an African-American mayor. And I heard her listen to today. She's coming out swinging, y'all. She's coming out swinging because I'm 20 minutes from Philly, right across the bridge, really. And there's a lot of crime. Listen, they got some serious issues in Philly. You know, I don't go over there. I go over there to the store. There's a market I go to called Reading Market, downtown Philly. I like Philly. I've done ministry in Philly. But I get in Philly. I get out of Philly. I get out of there because they got a lot of issues, a lot of crime, even Wawa's and I think it was Target. They're gone from downtown. TJ Maxx, they're leaving downtown Philly. So we're going to see what this mayor does. I don't have a name because I didn't think about talking. I like to come with full information, but I can't think of a name right now. But she'd come out swinging to really mean it's the first African-American female, I think, that has become mayor of Philadelphia. And she have said she's going to appoint a police commissioner right away, because they need it. It's serious stuff going on, okay? Elena Cannon, she did decide to keep the date May 7th or something like that for the Trump classified criminal indictments. Many were a little concerned because he appointed, it used to be a point, and I think Virginians are going through that now. Is it Virginia? That they want to know what party the judge is a part. Why? It's not a party. And that should not even be an issue. And again, the Ohio Republican senators, some are still going after the people that vote. Well, we want to change it. It ain't over yet. The people have voted. It's the people, not your political view. It's the people. It's the people's vote. It's the people's voice. It's the people's money. But what happened, you all, they get to Washington and they really forget about you. They forget about the district. They don't remember you. Some of them do, but most of them, they forget about you. They get in there and they're making $170,000 a year. I think it's close to that. Speaker of the House make $170,000. They make close to it. And that's it. And it's money. Wherein Johnson, he doesn't even have a bank account. He has a bank account. So what happens now? Now he's Speaker of the House. His money goes up. That's why they want Trump in. Because when Trump was there, they made money. Where he's a senator, a representative only was worth $3 million. When Trump was in, his worth went up $8 to $10 million. So this is not about people, it's about money. It ain't about policy. They don't care about it. Most of them have had abortions. So somebody had, let's be real. Come on, it's not about that. It's about of mistreating the minds of the American people. That's what it's all about. So I was glad still watching her because she said, well, we're going to see because they got 1.7 million of documents from the classified case. A lot of documents, y'all. But I think Jack Smith organized it, that it shouldn't take years. So she voted. I mean, she made a ruling to keep because everything was trying to be done outside of the election. Why? Number one, that he could run his election. Number two, once he think he can get in and become president, he can just wipe out everything, put somebody in the Department of Justice, just wipe out everything. That's what he thinks can happen. It would not happen. He has to face the music. Pride, hypocrisy, lying. So the lady got to pay the piper. There's truth in the earth. There's truth in the earth. And if he get away with it, anybody else can do it. And that's the point. They're saying, well, nobody lost money. The banks didn't lose money. But it's the way you do business. They could have, because you up all of your property. They could have. So justice for all. So that means if they let him go, the next person can do the same thing and up their property value. If it's 3 million, they can say it's 20 million. Then the bank loses. So what happens then? Just because he said that. But I just read an article before I came on that his 40 Trump prize or something like that, a guy have taken from the bank, not from the court. I forgot what it's called. He's taken over the loan because the loan is, they owe. The vacancies are up. Okay? Vacancies are down. I'm sorry, vacancies are down. So Trump organization on a lot of those property owe millions of dollars. So I think it's 40 Trump Plaza, Trump Tower. I think it's Trump Tower. One of them, I forgot what they called it, have taken over the loan and watching it because they're not going to let it drop. If it's 170 and it's gone down to 120 something $million that's there behind, they're not going to watch that thing drop because the more it drops, the more they lose. So either the property has to be sold or for that's the bank. But they lied and said that they paid everybody. They're liars. His son lied, but I like his daughter. She was cool. She was level-headed. She was her whole, and I don't recall. I recall. Yes, that's what you do when you don't want. And that's your freedom. That's your freedom. Say I don't recall. Of course, we know she recalled. Come on, but she had a better demeanor than Eric or the other son, or special Trump had a better demeanor. They're going down. And the thing about it, well, I won't say. I'm going to say it. It's my show. You've got an African American woman in New York, Attorney General. You got an African American woman, and he don't care a lot about women, period. Especially, and black women, he don't care about it. African American woman in Atlanta, Fani Willis, they're on him. They can't, not only him, but they can't take that. Two black women taking it down? Come on. Alvin Bragg's, it'd be a while for anything. He put that on the back burner because of the important case, which is a smart prosecuting move. Don't get involved right now because it lets in some other case. Okay. Judge Jackson, she don't play. She told him put up a shirt. What he wants to say is that I did everything because my attorneys told me that. All the advice I got. Okay. So if that's the case in the federal system and other systems, if you're saying it was your attorney that advised you, then we got to bring you in. We're going to put you on the stand. We're going to put your attorney on the stand. And attorney privilege goes out the window because all of the documents, the judge needs to see that. Okay. So if you're saying that it was done, you did what you did. Same thing, Steve Bannon. I don't know what's going to happen. He's trying to get out of I'll come back to him, I think. He's trying to get out of 4 months of doing time. Go do your time. You did the crime, do the time. Okay. Then you got another. I don't want to get that. But what he's trying to do is push everything back. So Judge Chutton, I think that's her name, the DC case, she said, put up a settlement. This is the defense you're going to use. That your attorneys, you went on the advice of all of your attorneys, then okay, if that's I gave him to January, if that's your defense, all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring you in, put you on the stand, bring your attorneys in, bring the paperwork in, and we're going to see. He doesn't want that. So that defense is not good. He doesn't have a defense. And even in the classified case, you've got the butler, you've got the maid, you've got the chauffeur, they're going to testify against him. It has to stop. We've never had this before in our country. Presidents lose, they go on. Even if he wanted to come back, do it. And I really, really believe because he had many areas, he had good policies, good foreign policy. Let me say that. We went in $1 trillion of deficit because of him. But he had good foreign policies. Those foreigners were afraid of him. And I believe that if he would have just accepted that he lost and bowed out and wait and come back with a different approach, he probably would have got it. But he could not take losing the White House. And this is where we are now. And they're saying that January 6 folks are prisoners of war. They're hostages. You see how how messed up their perception is. Okay, but they're concerned. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's taken some. He's an independent. He was a Democrat. He's taken some of Trump supporters, take some Biden supporters. Again, Cornel West. I don't think he's going to get any far. He's not going to go too far. He's not going. And in so many ways, I like him, but so many ways we don't really need him. We don't need his views. Slavery. We understand all that, but we got to get past all of that. It has to be a bipartisanship of the people. Okay, whoever gets in there has to bring a bridge between the Democrats and the Republicans, that the people will be put first, not the politics. Okay, so I dealt with the classified document case. I dealt with the DC case. Fani Willis, I'm watching. I'm waiting to see who's going to flip next. There's a flipper. Jeffrey Clark, I'm watching him. I'm watching Jeffrey Clark. I'm watching Meadows have already got immunity with the feds. Something that means he's going to testify against Trump in court. I'm waiting on him to flip. These are two that I'm really waiting on. Giuliani, I doubt he needs to, because he's going broke. They're taking everything. IRS taking stuff, lawyers, he needs to, but he's so tied in. These guys looking for cabinet positions. You wonder why they sticking so much with Trump. They want cabinet positions. Giuliani want to be attorney general. They want a cabinet position. So they'll lose everything, their dignity, their values. They'll lose everything, their sense of right, for a man that will throw you under the bus. Michael Cohen threw him under the bus, but I like Michael Cohen. He stood up. He stood up. Fani Willis, again, I'm waiting on Jeffrey Clark. I think he's going to be either him or Meadows going to be the next flippers. This guy, they can't do that. That's Georgia. That's Atlanta. That's Fulton County Jail. Even if they get convicted, they have to sit there for a while before they're sent out they're sent out to the Department of Corrections. That's state time, y'all. That ain't federal time. That's why Meadows was trying to get his move, and Jack Eastman. He's not. Those two, I doubt will flip. Jack Eastman, I doubt will flip. They're gonna ride it out and go be convicted. They will be convicted. I believe that, because they were so tied up. But again, they're trying to ride for a position, y'all. All right. All right. DeLinda Hughes here said thank you for listening to DeLinda Hughes Personal Development Institute. Also, thank you for listening to my political commentaries that I try to express not on a party base, but give you truth and you make a decision, because I consider myself an independent. Okay? So watch what's going on, y'all. That way you know how to intercede. You can't intercede if you don't know how. Well, I'm an intercessor. You intercede for somebody to get a car or home. That ain't about nothing. Anybody can get a car now, because you can't hide it like you used to. They put that thing on it. You can find, you put it in the backyard. It's there. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, okay. But let's intercede on a different, even leaders. Intercede for your city. Well, I'm going to our town hall meeting soon. I got to get the date. Get involved. How can you impact your city? You're more involved with your denomination or you are with downtown. If downtown, will you make a difference? Most leaders are not even involved with the city councilman. And they don't even, I don't get involved with it. How can you be in a city and you're not involved politically? I ain't say you got to know what's going on, or you got to develop a voice for the people. But most folks are involved with their denomination, with their organization, religious organization, and they're forgetting about the politics and the people. Let me correct, the people, then the politics. Because the people is more important. Thank you for all of you. If you want to support my company, I appreciate you. There is the information at the bottom. You can donate, sow, whatever you feel comfortable, contribute to help get this stuff out, help get the Deland Hughes Personal Development Institute out, and my people over politics, political commentary. I've been saying political commentary, but I just got it. People, because if I ever run for office, it would be on that thing, people over politics. So I always sometimes come back and do the second half, people over politics, political commentary. Okay. Thank you all. I appreciate you. Those that support financially, I appreciate you. Those that get the mental wake up, a lot of y'all are sharing it. I don't know. It's gone over 14,000. It's gone. So I don't know where it is. It's wonderful. You know, I'm starting at the ground foundation. I want to make a difference, and I need your help. There's information. Would you sit down and get your cell phones, go to that Cash App, go to that Zelle on today, and donate $20.23. Anything you can do. You can donate $5, $7. I don't care. I'm asking for 2023, but if you can't do that or you would like not to do that, I respect that. But do something. If it's $7, if it's $10, I'm a personal development dealer. Give $10 to the company, and I appreciate it. The information is at the bottom. Sit down. Even when I'm talking, get that phone, get that Cash App, get that Zelle, do that 2023 or whatever you feel free. You might be able to give $2 million. I don't know. I'm always open. Okay, whatever you feel to do, help us out. We appreciate it. All right. It has been a wonderful. I like doing the show, and I appreciate it, and I'm so happy. We're going to have a workshop. Had a wonderful show. Okay. Get ready to get out of here, y'all. Been good. Until next time, Deland Hughes here. Thank you for listening. I'm going to leave it up to a few minutes. Maybe you want to take your phone and the QR code. All right, you put me back on here. All right. You can put your phone up and do that and do it like 2023 more or less. $5, $7, whatever you need. I'm out of here. Until next time. Thank you for listening.